So this video is an evaluation of the performance of the single Feel That on Bandcamp. So this was an experiment. What I wanted to do was to take a look at doing something absolutely independent and without DJ promo. I wanted to see what would happen if I put it up and just did a little bit of a buzz using Facebook and Twitter. I didn't want to do overkill either, so this is just an appraisal really of the performance of that kind of burst of a week and a bit in terms of the activity around the track. So this is the special dub that I put up as a promotion, so everybody within the first week was able to get this as a bonus download, and I extended that actually till a Monday as well, and I'm going to be doing a name check on this video for everybody who bought it in that period, so stick with it for the end if you want to hear your name being shouted out. So the stats, let's take a look at the performance. Now I'm going to do this for a 30-day period, and you can see here we've got the information related to the original mix and the lunch break dub. There's some other things here that are available as well, but let's focus on Feel That. So plays in this period 554. Now there were also for the lunch break dub 325. Now this is really interesting actually, because you can see how much were a complete playback and then also partial playback and then also skipping, which means that actually people didn't really like it. Now I'm really interested in the whole process of the conversion from listening, auditioning, to then actually going and buying. So we're going to take a look at some information about that fairly soon. Also, you can take a look on here at the buzz. So this is basically picking out where on the web has the traffic come from. So this is quite interesting. And you want to get a sense of where the sites are that are working for you in terms of your promotion, and so that's what's going on with that. And then we've got the actual sales and downloads, so you can see what's going on here. Let's take that to the 30-day period. You could see what was actually earned on that, and you can see the downloads and purchases. You can also see the special dub, how many people have downloaded that, and also I did a little promotion with Save Us as well. So the great thing about Bandcamp, the reason why I selected it and the reason why I wanted to do this away from the usual stores is because of this kind of power to do these individual promotions and to have control over the real direct to customer side. So we've got here tools. I'll show you what it looks like. You can go here, you can export a mailing list. All the people's emails have been gathered. You can also export your sales data, and you can also, this is the interesting thing, set up download credits. So as you can see down here, the download codes, I can actually give away free tracks to specific people. So I can do this using the email addresses that I get and then give them a very bespoke code. Okay, so this is a really nice thing to do. That's what I wanted to do during the early period, get people to buy it. They're going to get that free dub as well. So it created a bit of a kind of buzz about the dub, which is quite interesting really. And then I can also give out discount codes. So I've been toying around with this idea of not doing DJ promos. There's a lot of reasons why I've been thinking about that. There's some stuff on my Facebook page all about it, some really big discussions, and one of these days I'll try and put all of that, collate all of it and put it into the blog. But my feeling at the moment, just in a brief kind of series of words, is that these days streaming is becoming the dominant platform for listening for the bulk of kind of consumers, the kind of people that used to buy compilation CDs and stuff like that in the past. And so this means that the amount of people buying stuff like that is really, really gone down. And really, I see in the future for underground club music, the only people really that need to buy it are going to be the DJs. So it doesn't make sense to be giving out lots of free promos to DJs, because they're really going to be the last customers for underground labels. So that's just the way it feels that it's going. Things could change, of course. There could be a radical change, but that's just my personal feeling. So I thought that with the DJs, yes, it would be quite nice to be able to give discount codes. So that would be one way of giving DJs tracks at a reduced rate, and so that's the concept. So you can do this with Bandcamp. You get a lot of management control here. Private streaming, you can get out some tracks early to certain people and then turn them into tracks that can be sold. So it's really interesting. It's a new approach, but it's a lot of work. This is what I've found. I've had to do a lot more work than a normal release. In the past when I put something out, it's gone straight up onto the stores, like for example TrackSource. There is a benefit with putting something out like that because they've got their own internal mechanism for promoting things. You're going to see fairly soon the kind of activity around the track, and there's no doubt that it could have been better for me to go that route because of their means of promotion. I've had to handle this all myself, and I didn't really want to keep promoting it, shoving it in people's faces. I wanted to be quite subtle about it, but it's interesting. Now let's take a look at some data. I put together a spreadsheet here, and let's just go back to the first tab here. Now, I was talking about the people that were listening to the track on Bandcamp, and then they were being turned into people who bought the track. So you can see here the breakdown. The most successful was the original mix. So basically 11% of the people that were listening then went on to buy it. The same, very, very similar number with the lunch break dub as well. So that was 10%. Okay. Some of you might be surprised by that amount. Some of you might have guessed it right on the Facebook page. A couple of you were very, very close. Now, onto the price. The thing about Bandcamp is that you can set a price and then you can allow your customers to decide a price too. So I set a minimum price of £1, and you can see that the majority of people paid that amount. There were some that paid higher. So you can see one person paid £4 for a track. And over here to the pie chart on the right, you can see that actually quite a high percentage paid more than the suggested price. Now this is really interesting. So it means that a reasonably large amount of people were passionate enough about what they were hearing to spend a little bit more. So that's probably saying to you that £1 is quite possibly too low a price for a track. Maybe it should be a little bit more. So this brings it more in line with the kind of charges that sites like TrackSource, Beatport and so on are actually running with, and possibly they're good prices. Now, the sites that referred the most customers, you can see here the majority of people came from Facebook. And this is a slightly different breakdown of figures here. This is coming from the actual purchases. This is different to the tool that we were looking at before. And some of the fields here were empty, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that, but I wanted to bring down the data that I got in the CSV export. Now, the territory breakdown, you can see the majority of people here were coming from the UK in terms of my buyers. The next most popular territory was United States, and so on. You can see that all here. Now, the most popular mix we saw at the end here was the original mix as well. Alright, so it's been really nice to break down some of these figures here. And one of the things, particularly if any of the guys at TrackSource and the other music stores are looking at this, I think all of the ability to break down these numbers is really important for a label. So I'd love to see those guys pushing a lot more intimacy with the data. I think it's very important for labels to get the ability to assess what they're doing and see what's going on with the numbers. So the data is very important. So I'd love to see a dashboard on TrackSource and the other sites where we could see a lot more about our customers and see what's going on, because I think it's a really important thing moving forward. I was talking about the way the business is going, and as I said, DJs are possibly going to be the last customers. We want to get a really good kind of relationship with the customers. I think that's important for labels. Anyway, so that's it. And what I'm going to do is, for the rest of the video, I'm going to do a nice little name check. We're going to get everybody's names up. So this is everybody in that qualifying period. Everybody got a hold of that special dub, which funny enough is my favourite mix. So a massive thanks to Nathan Scott, Lucas Pascaliak, Lino de Souza, Richard Lewis, Sem Marini, Oluwole Adeyemi, González Romero, Bruce Turner, Michael O'Connor, Ronnie Mers, Clive Upton, N. Sazonov, Lewis Jones, Jose Antonio González Romero, Ivan Bruner, Ilya Zaitsev, Trevor Rose, Satoshi Kobayashi, Samuel dos Santos Sousa, Jan Hippensteel, Henri Fontaine, Matt Hamer, Ludwig Mayuri, Jose Santos, M.S. Kirk, Neil McLean, Curtis Nakauye, Roy McNulty, Spencer Young, Chris Chrysostomou, Ben Jackson, Adam Hart, Philip Lloyd, Boris Bordeaux, Lee Pickett, Kypros Charalambous, Anna Melenda, Keith Homer, Paul Helsby, Nick Wazolowski, Ernest Sparrow, Dale Nortia, Gustav Josefsson, Magnus Bolin, Cliff Polidore, Ashley Douglas, Matthew Fogarty, Shelley Konopinski, Richard Pring, Thorsten Ebers, David Pears, Mifflin Gaines, Jamie MacMillan, Timothy Wheelock, Simon Lee, Ruggeri Signorelli Filippini, Alexandra Bakes, Konstantinos Skalidas, Kavish Mantani, Nathan Scott, Michael McDonald, EJ Wright, Max Macauley, Russell Friend, Ulf Weber, Richard Vatsulu, John Blake, Gavin Wharton, and Emmet Flores.